welcome back to my channel, welcome back to Vlogmas, and what is my festive Q&A. I've done this the last few years and I've always been really lucky that so many of you have sent in some questions each year. It's always a bit of a panic thinking, is anyone actually going to send in some questions? And I put a question box on Instagram, I think at the beginning of Vlogmas. It feels so long ago. It was either beginning of Vlogmas or just beforehand. And you did not disappoint. I've got some really good questions, so I've got the list of them. So yeah, I'm just going to run through them as best as I can. I haven't actually, like, obviously I've briefly looked through them, but I haven't thought about any of the answers. I thought I would just do it when we get to it. So yeah, let's get started. We all know I like to ramble, so make sure you've got yourself a cuppa. So no particular order, some of them may end up being similar, I don't know, we'll just work that out as we get to it. But first question, what's your family's favourite holiday tradition? Now obviously in terms of, like, as a family of three, this is our first Christmas, so we're still getting to grips with the kind of traditions that we want to do. But in terms of things from like my childhood that I want to keep on doing, we usually go and see Santa in a helicopter. We normally do that, and we always went round, as I'm sure many of you did, and looked at the Christmas lights that people have put up. I'm very lucky, I'm living on quite a festive street. I feel a bit bar humbug. I feel like our house isn't jazzy enough, but we just don't have the money this year, sadly. I'm going to look in the sales to see if we can get some outdoor lighting. But yeah, just looking around, having a drive. Obviously, if we go for a drive and look at the Christmas lights this year, Nelly wouldn't actually see it or take in any notice. So this year we've walked, which has been really cold. But we did get to see some pretty Christmas lights, which I'm glad about. So yeah, I'd probably say that's our traditions that we're doing at the minute. I'm sure probably from like next year there'll be new traditions that we do when you know, Nelly's a bit more with it and understanding a bit more about Christmas. Number 2, how do you balance holiday prep with everyday mum life during Vlogmas as well? I don't, is my honest answer. I feel so behind at the minute. We've still got loads that we need to buy for. I haven't wrapped anybody's presents apart from Nelly's. At this rate they'll just be getting a gift bag with a bit of tissue on the top. I think in terms of putting the decorations up, that was actually quite simple because we did it over like the course of like a week pretty much, which is why we did it in November, because otherwise by the time I get it up it would be time to take it down, and I want to enjoy it and I want Nelly to enjoy it, so I did that a little bit earlier. But other than that, it's just like lists. I've got lists on my phone coming out of my ears for all sorts. Vlogmas actually isn't too bad. I'm not finding it too stressful. I think partly because I've got decent Wi-Fi these days. If you're an original subscriber, then you'll remember the days of my bad Wi-Fi where if I had a video that was over 10 minutes long, you had no chance. But yeah, Vlogmas is going really well. I'm just vlogging bits and pieces throughout my days. I'm not adding pressure to it. We aren't doing a huge amount that's festive this year. My Vlogmas is more just sharing my everyday life a little bit, with a few sprinkles of Christmas here and there. So yeah, like, I don't find it too bad in that sense, but the whole wrapping scenario, like, we're going through a bit of a regression I think at the minute with Nelly, or I've spoken about it in a vlog recently. I don't know if it's a regression or more of her dropping a nap and me not picking that up quick enough. Because yesterday I tried, or the day before, I tried giving her 2 naps, and then yeah, all hell let loose at bedtime. She wasn't having any of it. She was up till like 10:30. So my plans of painting my nails and wrapping presents and stuff just went completely out the window. Whereas now I think if I can get her to 1 nap a day, which, by the way, if you wonder why I keep looking down, I've got her down there, then she might actually go to bedtime at a reasonable time. Although unfortunately last night she wet through all of her clothes, so she woke up at 2 o'clock, so hence why I look a little bit haggard right now. How do you keep the Christmas spirit alive when life gets busy? My life isn't busy. Like, I'll admit that there's elements of it that are busy. You know, like some weeks I think, oh my God, I've got so much on this week. But in actual fact, compared to what my life used to be like, I haven't, you know, like there's no pressure for me to get up in the mornings. Like, I like to, because I like to have a routine for Nelly, but there is no pressure to be up by a certain time. Like, it's not like I'm rushing to get her to school or nursery to then go on to work. Like, I know I'm very, very lucky in that sense. I think it's just, for me, keeping the Christmas spirit alive, whether I'm busy or not. I think it's just about taking it back to basics and just remembering that Christmas is about spending time with people and enjoying people's company. It's about like the sparkly lights and just those little traditions. For me, Christmas is very much a family thing. I'm not into the whole like have a friend's Christmas and a this Christmas and, you know, all things like that. It's very much a family thing. So to me, it's just about spending time with family and spending that extended time with family that you wouldn't normally do. You know, if you go and see family, you would normally maybe spend like 2 or 3 hours there, whereas this is like a full day spent with them, enjoying their company, and then probably thinking, right, I haven't got to do that for a while. Like, not in a horrible way, but just like sometimes you can see too much of people, if that makes sense. Not so much even my family anymore. There's certain members of my family that you can see too much of. Not naming names. But yeah, so like in Christmases gone past, I've been like, oh, thank God that's over for like another 3 or 4 months until someone's birthday, you know. What's the best holiday memory you've made with Nelly so far? Ooh, I'd say one of my favourite memories so far is the first day that she had a present to unwrap, and she literally looked at it as if to say, what the hell do I do with that? Because obviously she hasn't had any presents wrapped up. So yeah, she was just looking like, well, what do I want with that? So I'd probably say that one. And I've really loved each evening. I don't think I've caught it on camera yet, or if I have, I can't remember, but I definitely need to catch it on camera before we take the decorations down. But in our tree, we have Bert, which has been sent by Santa, the little elf. He isn't doing any mischief like a lot of the elves that Santa sends. He's just sat in the tree. He has not moved since day one. In terms, he might move at night, I don't know. But in terms of like each day, he's sat in the same position on the tree. And I've also got a light up Santa in a helicopter I've had for years. I think I bought it from Home Bargains in the sale maybe like 5 or 6 years ago now, which is up on the wall. And each night, Nelly will wave to either me or Ash, whoever, depending on who's staying downstairs, and we'll wave to Santa in the helicopter and we'll wave to Bert in the tree, and it is just the cutest. She gets so excited to wave. When Ash goes up the stairs, he's also got another tradition of jangling my tree, which is fine until the baubles fall off. But if that's what he wants to do and then he can pick them all up, that's up to him. How do you manage the stress of Christmas shopping and planning while vlogging? I'm not stressing about Christmas shopping. I already decided that earlier this year. I don't really stress when it comes to Christmas shopping anyway, because I do my Christmas shopping throughout the year. If there's something I see or an idea I've got and I've got a bit of spare cash, then I'll happily buy it and just put it in a drawer out the way, ready for Christmas. I'm not somebody that, like, say the 1st of December goes and gets all their Christmas shopping. Like, that's just not me. I like to spread it out throughout the year. I don't like to feel rushed, and yeah, I like to enjoy Christmas shopping. And I try, in normal years or years gone past, because you know it is still a normal year this year, I've usually got it all done and wrapped by 1st of December so I can just enjoy an extended Christmas period. However, it hasn't worked out like that this year. Ash isn't that organised for one. So whilst my side is pretty much all done, I just need to get some alcohol for people. His side, I don't even know. I don't even think he knows, to be honest. So no doubt Christmas Eve I'm going to be rushing around trying to find stuff. In terms of like the planning, I don't really have anything to plan. I simply have a diary, and when people want to book in to see like me and Nelly, or if I see an event usually advertised on Facebook that takes my fancy, then I'll pop it in my diary. And if we get to go to it, great. If we don't, so be it. Obviously a lot of events this year have been cancelled due to various storms that we've had. But yeah, and I just work it like that. It's a first come first served basis, even. Whereby if somebody messages or I'm talking to someone and we're choosing a date to meet up, I'll give a range of dates I'm free. Said person will book in with me, and then it's a date, you know. So in terms of that, that's the only kind of planning that I have. I'm not doing an elaborate meal, and I don't quite understand why people go so mad, because in terms of a Christmas dinner is just a roast dinner with maybe a little bit of extra. Like, to be fair, my Christmas dinner is my roast dinner, because I always have parsnips, I always have pigs in blankets when I can get hold of them. So yeah, to me it's just a standard roast dinner, so I don't quite get what all the panic is about. Yeah, you don't need the like 3,000 sausage rolls and everything else, just like a little of everything, and then it doesn't end up in the bin. What's the one Christmas activity or event you never miss every year? Okay. Obviously last year was a little bit different because I did miss events because obviously I was really heavily pregnant. There is a playlist for Vlogmas last year if you want to see how heavily pregnant I was and the things that I did get up to in between the power cuts that we kept having. I always go to the Christmas tree shop, but I don't buy a Christmas tree. Random, I know. But I do buy from them the wreaths. Funny enough, I actually went this morning and bought the wreaths, which are super pretty. They're just a bit nicer than your standard ones with holly. Like, we have got one with holly, and these wreaths are for the graves, our family graves, so we like to get something a little bit special, and pop them out on the graves on Christmas Eve. So go into that shop, you could probably say that, and I always come out with an ornament. I've actually come out with an ornament this year that's not for me. That's the only thing I bought in there, other than the wreaths, was an ornament which I'm actually going to give somebody as a Christmas present. So yeah, I didn't buy any decorations, which is madness. To be fair, we left it a lot later this year in the hope that there wasn't much left, so I wasn't tempted. It's the real reason. So yeah, I have vlogged a little bit of this morning for Vlogmas, but you'll see like the shelves were empty compared to like last year and previous years. But I'd probably say that is something that I always do, because obviously I always think about the fact of going to the graves at Christmas. But again, last year I didn't. I just sent the money and Mum got them because yeah, I was just waddling. Well, actually I don't know, I think I might have gone because I bought a Christmas decoration. I must have gone. But I think we went a lot earlier, that's for sure. What's a holiday tradition from your childhood that you now share with your family? Obviously I mentioned the Christmas lights. Another one will be to leave a little snack out for Santa and the reindeer. What else? I think, although Ash probably won't be very happy with it, but I think I'm going to try and do the tradition of opening our stockings in the morning, which is what we've always done, like I've always done anyway, and then not open the rest of the presents until after lunch. We used to always have lunch and then listen to the King's speech and then get to open our presents then. Yeah, and I think I'd kind of like to do that again. It just breaks it up a little bit, and I think with Nelly it's just going to be a case of opening presents every so often. I've got a feeling like I'm going to be opening birthday and Christmas presents with her in like April, May time. But yeah, I think I'm probably going to try and do that this year as well. What is your favourite way to decorate your home for Christmas? I don't really know if there's a favourite way. I just get it all down from the loft and get it all out. I'm not somebody that everyone's cutting their grass today. I don't get why. It's December. That's like the third person today that's cut their grass. What is wrong with people? It's freezing out there. It's all gonna die. Anyway, yeah, I'm not one of these people, as much as I would love to, I'm not one of these people that has necessarily a tree that's very themed. Don't get me wrong, I have a themed tree, which is on the landing, which is all rose gold, baubles and accessories and things, with a bit of gold in as well. So I suppose you could say that is a themed tree. I prefer Christmas decorations and decorating the house in a way that gives me memories. Like, I can look over at our tree in the front room and I can tell you where every baubl's been, you know, come from. I can tell you little funny stories about it. Yeah, so much. And I look at it and I'm just like, it's such a good memory. And like, I've got baubles on there from when I've travelled to different places, and yeah, it's just like super special. And to me, that's part of Christmas and part of decorating the house, is bringing out those things that you see year on year. You know, like Mum has got her decorations up, and I know for a fact she'll have these little red teddy bears with little tartan ropes on her tree, and I can remember those for as far as I can remember Christmas. Like, they've always been there, along with quite a few other decorations on her tree. And I just think it's so special to like pick them up each year and be like, oh look, they're coming back out, kind of thing. Whereas I think there's a lot of people that tend to go for these themed trees and then like after Christmas get rid of the stuff, and I'm just like, but then you're just doing it for show. You're not necessarily doing it for enjoyment, unless you're somebody like, for example, Tony Interior on YouTube, who actually I haven't seen for a little while. She seems to have gone quiet. She does the most amazing trees, and I think that's just because she gets pure enjoyment out of everything Christmas and decorating trees and things, which is fair enough. But yeah, it's just not me, sadly. I like to have the quirky tree, if you like. Do you have any funny Christmas stories from your past festive seasons? There's a few. Like, I think my favourite is probably, I must have only been about 8 or 9, and I was going through a phase. This is Christmas Day. I was going through a phase where I had vinegar on everything, including my roasted nut. I absolutely adored, and to be fair, when I was pregnant, the craving came back, but I reined myself in a bit. But I absolutely adored roast potatoes with vinegar on, still with a bit of gravy on, but vinegar mainly. And I just thought it was the most amazing thing ever. I loved it. And obviously when you put vinegar on stuff, it will mix with everything else on the plate, because it's runny, you know. And I had sprouts on my plate, knowing full well I didn't like sprouts, but that was what was dished up, so sprouts were on my plate. And I was full when it got to the sprouts. They were left to the end, and then I was suddenly full. And my nan and her twin sister Mary were very much, they were brought up in the war years, and well, before the war years, and they were very much of the opinion that you didn't waste food, like to the point that they used to have a little spoon at the end to mop up the gravy, as if it was a soup, because yeah, you just didn't waste food. So my nan said, that's all right, I'll have your sprouts. So she puts one in her mouth, and obviously it's covered in vinegar. And I think my favourite memory is probably the face she pulled. I've never seen anything like it. Yeah, I definitely don't think she was expecting that, that's for sure. And I'd probably say that's one of my favourite memories of Christmas. Another memory of Christmas, I don't know if I've got the video clip to hand that I can even like insert it. I'd probably say it was like 2 Christmases ago, I think. We had like we'd eaten our Christmas dinner and we'd done the dishes, and the table was still up ready for like the party food to come out a little bit later. And Trix decided, because somebody had left the like buffet thing by the table, and Trix decided that she was going to climb up on the puff to see if there was anything on the table. Now, I was sat in a chair a little way away, but I was keeping an eye on her, I always do. And she then jumped up onto the Christmas table, and yeah, I was having a little wander around, sniffing the Christmas tree that was right by it, like, and it was just so comical. Yeah, it was super cute, but at the same time you just think, oh my god. But yeah, I'd probably say they're my like favourite memories. How do you manage to make the festive season special for your family while juggling your everyday responsibilities? I don't really do anything specific. I just get through each day. I think that's the thing. Other than the dates in my diary, I just get through each day and take each day as it comes, because the housework can wait. As long as, like, in a nice way, it's tidy and clean for Christmas Day. yeah, the rest can wait, you know. You only get like this Christmas once, because next year everyone's going to be older, hopefully wiser. Maybe some people that are here this Christmas might not be next Christmas. Like, this Christmas you're only going to get once, so why not experience it to the full? And yeah, just let everything else like go to the side slightly. It doesn't matter if there's like dust for like a week or two because you're enjoying yourself. Like I say, I always do like a nice clean just before Christmas Day. Other than that, does it really matter? What's your must-have Christmas treat or drink? I always have a Terry's chocolate orange hot chocolate from Costa. That is number one. Treat-wise, obviously we have like selection boxes and stuff. I don't know about treat-wise. I'm addicted to the Lidl's Terry's chocolate orange, or like chocolate orange Christmas bomb thing, chocolate bomb thing that they're doing at the minute. Yeah, I'm addicted to that, but I don't really think treat wise anything. I just like a festive drink at the start of December. I've had 2 this year, festive drinks, and that's probably going to be my lot, to be fair. But whilst I used to have them a lot more, I kind of enjoy them more now because they really are like a treat to me. What's one thing that you're most excited about Christmas for? I think just spending it with Nelly, like spending it in our home that's hopefully our forever home, as a family. I think it's just going to be really nice to do that more than anything, and I think that's what I'm excited for, you know. Like, I think a first Christmas as a family would be my answer to that one. What's the first Christmas movie your family watches every year? Oh, normally it's a holiday for me. I think Ash would probably say The Grinch or Home Alone. And it's normally the holiday for me. But you know what? We didn't watch any of those until much, much later this year. I can't even remember what my first Christmas film was. It might even have been A Christmas Prince or something like that. It was something on Netflix, I think. Yeah, I only watched The Holiday last week, which is very, very late for me. But then I did watch it in like July as well. So maybe that classed as the first Christmas film of the season. I don't know. What's on your Christmas wish list for this year? Nothing. There's been nothing on my Christmas wish list really for the last like 2 or 3 years. I mean, a money tree would be amazing. Or what else? Like, I'd love to, I don't know. There is one thing that's on my list. I would love a pair of like outdoor walking boots. I forget what they're called, but I'll try and remember to insert a picture. I've got like an idea in mind of what I want, because basically my legs are too wide now for your standard wellies, and I can't find any that I like in like wide leg fit. So yeah, I thought I might get some of these boots instead, and they can suffice as wellies. Because obviously, like, I used to do a lot of walking and stuff, and I'd quite like to get back into doing that, especially now that Nelly is a lot happier in the carrier. I really would like to get out and about a little bit more. So I'd probably say that is literally my only thing. Like, I've got a few bits to help me do videos that I've asked for Christmas, but I know I've got them because I bought them. Or like I ordered them and then said to Ash, you can give me those. So yeah, I'd probably say that's about it really. Do you have any tips for making Christmas memorable without overspending? I wrote a whole blog post on this, which I'll try my best to remember to link down below. I know I said that in a vlog that I was going to link some posts below, and I never did, so apologies. But yeah, I did do a blog post all about not overspending at Christmas, and I had some ideas in there. I think for me it's just about finding free or cheap things to do in your area. You know, there's loads of free things to do, and I think it's also about saving money throughout the year so that you're not having this big financial hit with like one wage packet doing Christmas shopping events, you know, all these different things. So I do try and save a little bit every month throughout the year, which then we can use for things like the Christmas light trail that we went on, and little bits and pieces like that. So yeah, I'd probably say, obviously you can't save now for this year, but think about saving for next Christmas, like from now. And it really does help. But in terms of other things, like there's something so magical at Christmas about putting on a Christmas film, having some Christmas snacks, snuggling in your pajamas under a blanket, like low lighting or candles, like just all cozy, you know. Yeah, just things like that really. And even if it comes to like entertaining the kids, if you've got more than one, it's probably easier. But like get them to put on like a little Christmas nativity or a Christmas play or something like that. Like do like a Christmas show, you know, or as a family do like a pass the parcel type thing. Like you don't have to have expensive treats in it. It could be just like chocolates with one prize. That could be maybe like a DVD, for example, for your movie night. You know, things like that. I think I read a quote, I can't fully remember it, but I read a quote on Facebook the other day, and it said something about, I can't remember the presents that I had when I was like 6, 7, 8, anything like that. But what I can remember is the memories and the people that were there at that time. And it's so, so true. Like I remember like the pickled sprouts, like that sticks in my mind. I know exactly who was sat around that table. Like I couldn't tell you what I got for Christmas. I couldn't tell you any presents. Obviously I can remember some presents. Like I remember getting, was it called like a Wove Love or something like that? I remember that present because we had to shut it in the hallway because I just couldn't work out how to turn it off. There was no off switch and it just wouldn't stop talking. So like I remember that present obviously, and I remember so many other presents, but it's kind of like a blur. And I think I only remember it because I still own it. Like a lot of the stuff that I had is in the attic now so that Nelly can have it one day. But yeah, there's probably so many presents that maybe mum and dad might remember that I can't even remember because it was that long ago, and I didn't take too much interest. It was more interested in the magic of it. So yeah, I would probably just say bear that in mind as well, to be fair. What's your favourite Christmas song and why? My favourite and Ash's favourite are the same, which is Jonah Louie, Stop the Cavalry, which obviously isn't necessarily a Christmas song, and it was never meant to be a Christmas song either. But there's just something about the, like, is it trumpet or something? I'm not very musical instrument wise, if you like. But there's just something about it, and I've only heard it once in Asda, funny enough, and you just can't help but bop to it. Like there's just something about it, and even when you're walking along you just like feel yourself like jigging away to it. So yeah, that is our favourite song, and hopefully it'll be Nellie's as well because I feel like she's going to hear it for years to come. Another question said, how do you organise your Christmas shopping and any tips for staying on top of it all? I've pretty much spoken about this just now, and also there's more information in that blog post. Just write lists, save throughout the year and write lists, and you can't go far wrong. What's your Christmas morning routine like? Well, obviously it's going to be different this year. I'd imagine in some ways it's probably going to be very much the same as a normal day-to-day routine of getting Nelly sorted and stuff, and making sure she's had like bottle and porridge and all those things. But I try and have it as like a leisurely few hours in the morning, and then it gets to like 11 o'clock and I usually dress the table. I'm not somebody that dresses the table, you know, like days before, because at mum's house we never had the space, and here we're not going to have the space either because it's going to be in our front room. So yeah, I'd probably say do that, and then before you know it the guests arrive and you're in full swing of eating your Christmas dinner, and that's about it really. It's definitely like a slow one, if that makes sense. Do you prefer a big family Christmas or a smaller, more intimate celebration? I prefer the big family Christmas, don't get me wrong, I really do. But what I actually have is a small intimate Christmas these days. Purely because the people that were always around our Christmas table are no longer here. You know, like we've lost 4, yeah, 4 people from around our Christmas table over like the years. So it's just got smaller and smaller. But yeah, I'm excited for a new chapter, and I'm so excited that like to have Christmas with a child again, because I remember my childhoods and they were magical. And I really want to create that for Nelly as well. So yeah, I like that big Christmas. I like that enjoyment, that, you know, everyone's having fun, everyone's having conversations, there's laughs, there's games, there's jokes. Like, I like all that, you know. So it'd be nice to get back to doing that, hopefully in the years to come, especially when Nellie's a bit older and she needs a little bit more entertaining. What's one item you always buy for Christmas no matter what? Ooh, Bucks Fizz. I mean, it's not the nicest drink in the world. I don't really like it. I have to either water it down with lemonade or orange juice because it's just a bit too fizzy for me, but it's like a staple. I have to have Bucks Fizz in the morning. I don't know what else. I'm trying to think. Other than like your staple, like pigs and blankets and stuff. It used to always be a Christmas jumper. I always used to buy a Christmas jumper, but I don't even do that anymore. Although I do always, having said that, I do always buy a decoration. I mean, I've bought quite a few this year, last year and the year before, so my tree is pretty much groaning under the strain of it all. But I do always try and buy a Christmas bauble of some sort for the tree. So I suppose you could say that. What's been the hardest part of your first Christmas as a mum? I think it's just juggling that time. Obviously we're not at Christmas yet, but like the lead up to it has definitely been juggling that time. And I think as well it's been the comparison. Like, I've seen so many first time mums with babies around Nellie's age where they've booked to do Polar Express, they've booked to do a Santa's grotto, they've done all these amazing things. And for me and Ash, we chose not to do those things this year because yes, they would make a nice family photo, maybe. You know, have a cute baby in a Santa's grotto, looks lovely, but she's not going to remember it. I'm probably just going to stress, and we could save the money for when she can actually remember those things. So yeah, I'd probably say the comparison of that as well has been pretty hard, because you just see all these people spending so much money on like different things, and it's just not realistic for a lot of people. And yeah, I'd say that's definitely the hardest. What's your favourite way to wind down and relax after a busy Christmas day? I always like a Boxing Day walk. I try not to plan anything in on Boxing Day. I know like in years gone past, I've done like Christmas Day maybe with my family, and then like my partner at the time, we've done Boxing Day, but not until the evening. I think I did one Boxing Day in the daytime, and it was just too much. Like, you'd had all day like socializing on Christmas Day, and then it was too much to do it all again on Boxing Day. You just want a little bit of a break, I think, anyway. So I always try and do a Boxing Day walk and then come back home into the warm, because you can guarantee it's been freezing, and just snack on leftovers, watch stuff on TV, like all the Christmas stuff that either you didn't get to watch the day before, or like sometimes they've got really, really good Christmas movies on, like on Boxing Day. And yeah, just like chilling out, like a nice walk in the morning, chill out in the afternoon, evening. And then by the evening, I'm so bored of my own company and sitting around doing nothing but eat and watch TV, that like the next day I'm ready to do something, be it go to the shops, be it go and see family, like whatever it is, I'm just ready to get back to normal by then. What's one thing you hope to do with your family before Christmas is over? I really want to measure Nellie's length. I've bought a Christmas decoration. Let me get it actually. Yeah, I've bought this decoration. It says "Measure Me Keepsake Hanger. Mark my height on the ribbon as a reminder of how small I used to be." But it's like this Santa here, and the quote says, "There's something very special about Santa Claus, can you see? The ribbon around his hat is as long as I used to be." Like, how cute is that? I just think it's so cute. Yeah, so I really want to get that done. I'm hoping to do it on Christmas Day, and then I'm going to do it in the years to come as well, because I've got fillable baubles and I've got ribbons at the ready to do it. So this will be like her first Christmas, like as a special one, and then I'm going to do the ribbon and the baubles going forward from there. And it was just nice to like see the size of her, you know, like imagine getting this tape measure out like when it's her like 21st Christmas and seeing how small she was, you know. So yeah, that is one thing. Another thing I really want to do as well, we've got matching pajamas, which I shared on here ages ago. We haven't actually worn them yet, but I really want to get like a photo of all three of us in our matching pajamas with what we call the sparkly Christmas tree out there, the rose gold one, because that's the prettiest tree. And yeah, I really want that. And then I want to try and do some more like mini photo shoots with Nelly as well. And I need a photo of her with her baby's first Christmas bauble. So yeah, it's more like photo stuff and like memory stuff that I want to do. What's the best advice you'd give to other mums during Vlogmas? Don't put pressure on yourself. Just film snippets of your day. I can't believe I'm about to say this, but if you suddenly feel overwhelmed or you find that you hit a wall and you're like, do you know what, I just don't want to film anymore like today, but in your mind you're like, but I need a Vlogmas, put the same clothes on tomorrow and do it again. Like, honest to God, I've done that at least twice and I don't even know if anybody would notice in my Vlogmas, but there is 2 different Vlogmas episodes that are spread over 4 days because I just put like the same clothes on and yeah, just carried it on. So I filmed one day in the morning and then by lunchtime Nelly had got an absolute handful, so I just put the same clothes on the next morning and filmed the afternoon section the next day. You know, and I think that's the beauty. Obviously it's not necessarily full real life, but I think when you're uploading every day you've got to take that pressure off of yourself. And I think that's the beauty of starting slightly earlier as well, is that you have that little leeway to be able to do things like that, because everyone gets burnt out, especially with a workload of doing Vlogmas. Like, it isn't easy to remember to film, remember to be present as mum, remember to keep everybody alive, remember that you know, you want your house to be somewhat clean. It's even like the little things I think that people don't necessarily realise with film, but it's like making sure there's nothing with personal details on like lying around, because you're focusing on Vlogmas and content and things like that, your house ends up falling apart. I know Zoe Sugg spoke about this, like she's creating an amazing Vlogmas, all these festive things, and like they're, you know, like her Vlogmases are so famous within the YouTube community, but she's already admitted her house is like falling apart. It's like messy chaos because they're just focusing on creating great content. And I think that's the thing you've got to remember, there's a lot more that goes into it than meets the eye. And then you've got like your editing, your uploading, but you want to spend time with like your partner, like you want to watch the amazing things that they're putting on the TV. Yeah, it's a lot. So just take that pressure off, start slightly earlier. If you miss a day, you miss a day. Like, don't beat yourself up over it, because look how many days you've managed to create. Yeah, and all I say is good luck, because it's so rewarding. Like, I love looking back on our previous Vlogmases. I loved looking back on last year's Vlogmases as well, where I was so excited to meet my baby girl. And yeah, I remember trying everything. I would spend hours bouncing on my yoga ball, like we were going for walks. Obviously I was doing the finger pricks, which wasn't so nice, and I was stressing over food and things like that because of that. But yeah, I don't know, I wanted to meet her so badly that you can really see that in the videos. And so to watch them back, having now met her and you know, grown to love her as a person. Like, it's so special, and I'm looking forward to next Christmas, looking back on the memories of this Christmas, which to some might not seem much, might seem boring, might seem like I'm moaning all the time, I don't know, but to see how much, even like if I sat and watched the Vlogmas episodes now, to see how much Nelly has changed from the 1st of December to now, and how many skills she's picked up, how she's grown. She's had such a growth spurt. Like, yeah, just magical. What's your favourite Christmas scent, and do you have any festive candles that you love? I'm not really big on candles at the minute, not for any reason other than I just forget about them, if I'm honest. I'm very much more into my wax melts. I use 4-hour tea lights, and I put my wax melts in my holders, light the candle, and then I know that after the 4 hours they're going to go out. So if I light it at 6 p.m, which I do most evenings, then I know that by the time I go to bed they're out and they've cooled down, no issues. I get all of my wax melts pretty much, apart from some older ones that I'm using up, and sometimes people gift me things, but I buy the majority of them from Flame Game Candle Company on Etsy, which, if you don't know, is also my friend Ellie's small business, and she does so many amazing scents. But I definitely think her Christmas scents are the one, because they're not really overpowering, but at the same time they've got a scent that just fills your home. So whilst I would say there's not a specific scent that I like, I can say I don't like anything spicy. It's probably easier to say what I don't like. I don't like the spicy scents. I like something that's just refreshing but cozy, if that makes sense. But yeah, I absolutely adore my wax melts, and I'm gonna have to stock up in the new year because I'm nearly out, to be fair. Maybe that's what should be on my Christmas wish list. And then last question, do you have any special plans for New Year's Eve with your family? Yes, I do. Where's my notepad? So I have my magical notepad, which has a lot of writing on, as you can see. And I'm basically going to stay at home. I might have a glass of cider, but then again I might have a cup of tea because I'm a mum and, you know, mum life. But I'm going to get some nice like snacky bits, have a picky tea, and I'm going to sit my bum on my sofa and watch the TV. And I've even written down what I'm going to watch. Like, call me sad, but I don't care. No, actually, the reason why I've written it down is me and mum were sharing a TV book, so I just jotted down exactly what things I wanted to watch, and then she could have a look at the TV book and keep it at hers, because, you know, she's older than me and she might forget what she wants to watch. So I'm going to watch the New Year's Eve Bash with ITV. I am going to watch No Time to Die because I still haven't seen that, and I love a bit of Daniel Craig, I'm not going to lie. I have also got on the list Jane McDonald's Sing Along because I love Jane McDonald programmes at the best of times. I just think she's wonderful, and who doesn't love a sing along, you know? I feel like that's going to get you right into the spirit of New Year. I'm really hoping she does Sweet Caroline or something like that because that is a tune. I've also got written down on the list Graham Norton, but some of them do clash, but I can always catch up on them if necessary. And then Ash is going to get his Sophie Ellis-Bextor fix, and we'll watch the fireworks and then go to bed because that's how parents roll. I don't know, I really want to wake Nelly up, but at the same time I don't want to wake Nelly up, so yeah, I'm just going to play that one by ear, but if not, I might just go in and give her a kiss. But yeah, I'd quite like to wish, you know, like welcome in her first New Year, but I don't know if I'm making a rod for my own back, so we shall see. But then again, it might be noisy or people might let off fireworks because we're in a different area. Although I've moved back to Somerset, we're in a very different area and they do things a lot differently here than how I was brought up. So yeah, it could be noisy, it might not, we shall see. But yeah, that is everything in my festive Q&A. I can't believe it, I've done it for another year. But I hope you have a lovely day. I hope you're having a lovely festive period.